Just ahead on American Black Journal, it's Black History Month, and my guests are local history makers. I'll talk with the first African American to hold the office of Wayne County Clerk, and we'll hear from an African American business owner who made history in the eye care industry. Plus, details on a club whose members have achieved first in their field. Stay right there. American Black Journal starts now.
At DTE Energy, we believe that we have a greater responsibility. We believe that being part of a community means being involved in the fabric of that community, investing time, effort, and resources in the communities we serve. DTE Energy Foundation is a proud sponsor of American Black Journal.
Welcome to American Black Journal. I'm Stephen Henderson. In celebration of Black History Month, we're shining the light on African American history right here in Michigan. The 400 Study Club is one place where you can find many local history makers. The 70-year-old organization's members are Black professional women, many of whom have achieved firsts in their field. Here to tell us more about the club and its history is the president, Barbara Jean Johnson, along with club member, the Honorable Teola Hunter, who was the first African American and first female to serve as Wayne County Clerk. Welcome to American Black Journal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So tell me about this organization, the Study Club.
Well,
why is it called a Study Club?
Well, it's called the Study Club. It was formed about 7 years ago, and Miss Sadie L. Palmer from People's Community Church, she's the one who started it, and it was for business and professional women. They had a stipulation in the bylaws. They could only be 40 members, 40 people who were doing something in the community, and they had 7 closest to us members. And it was so interesting because State Senator Jackie Vaughn, he was always one of our closest members, and he would always be at the meeting like he was a regular member. But anyway,
well, he couldn't be a member.
He couldn't be a member. That's right. That's right. And so when Ms. Palmer started this club years ago, it became a very influential club. They've only had 3 presidents in the history of the club. Ms. Palmer, of course, was the first president. She was the founder, and she was the first president, and she was the president until she died at age 100. One of the interesting things about the Sadie L. Palmer 400 Study Club is the longevity that we have in the clubs. There are a lot of members. I think we have more centenarians than a lot of places. We have like 8 or 9 centenarians,
really?
100 and over. We have several in the 90s, 80s. And 70s. I'm one of the younger ones. I won't tell you my age, I'm just kidding. But our youngest member is, I think she's about 38.
Okay.
And so we've had women who have done so many things in the community and have catapulted things into the Black community to make a difference.
Yeah, but talk about what the club itself does.
Well, it's just what we try to do, and the motto of the club, what Ms. Palmer would always say, is to grow old gracefully. And we, at one time, they would take trips and stuff. We talk about current events. We talk about the things that's going on in the community and how we can make a difference. And a lot of our members have made a difference. They've made a difference in doing different things. We have people who have been politically involved in the community. Several politicians are members of it. Certainly the Honorable Teola Hunter, who's here with us, and you've mentioned that she was the first Wayne County Clerk. Jackie Curry, the Honorable Jackie Curry, who was the first female city clerk. Okay, the Honorable Barbara Rose Collins. And Barbara Rose would have been with us today, but she had surgery yesterday, and she certainly would have been here, and she wanted to be here, but she was the first female African-American to be in Congress from the state of Michigan.
That's right.
Right. Yeah. We've had so many firsts. We had Miss Charity Hall, who was the first female Shell owner of a Shell station. Yvonne Knox, who was the first female to own a McDonald's in the state of Michigan. And all of the politicians who've been in there, like Dr. Nellis James Saunders, who started 15 different sororities, and just so many people. Miss Daisy Elliott, who recently passed, and all of us know Miss Elliott. She was the person who introduced, she was the co-author of the Michigan Civil Rights Bill, and she was also the first appointed Speaker of the House for the, so many firsts.
Miss Hunter, I grew up in Detroit in the 70s and 80s, and I have to say the first thing I knew about clerk was that Teola Hunter was a clerk. I mean, it's almost in my mind that those things are the same thing. But I also imagine that when you were running for that office and before, it wasn't a given, of course, that a woman or that a black woman could have that job.
That's right. And Stephen, let me tell you, when I started campaigning for that job, and some of the areas in Wayne County,
Right.
certainly they were not accustomed to see a woman campaigning for that position, nor were they accustomed to see an African American woman campaigning for that position. And I can recall one community in particular when I was going around at one of the socials that they had, and as I walked through introducing myself, and before I could get to this particular woman, she says, "Who in the hell is she?" And so I heard her, and of course I turned around and I smiled at her. I said, "Oh, I heard you wondering who I was." And I said, "I'm Teola Hunter, and I'm running for the office of the Wayne County Clerk." "Oh, you want Colleen's job, huh?" Well, she thought Colleen was still
Right.
running. And so I assured her that Colleen was not running and that I was the person who was running for that office. Not only, and she kind of had a growl look on her face. And so she, as I passed by her, I heard her say, "She'll never get it," just like that.
Oh, no.
And I had to go back to these community meetings more than once. And so I had to build up that, my confidence and also my personality
So they get to
these
know
people
you.
to get to know me.
Yeah.
And go on.
Talk about how you overcame that in that first. What year was that first election? I can't
That election was in 1992.
92. Okay.
1992.
Yeah.
That's when it was.
Yeah. Wow.
And but going back, you had to go back more than 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And by the time the campaign was ready to be implemented, this woman was loving me.
Right, you won her over, right? And probably got her
won
vote.
her over, and also that community, I won them over. And to say little more,
Yeah.
I won the race.
Right. Right.
Yes.
Talk about how the study club has sort of helped you in your career, or given you sort of grounding in the community over the years.
I've known about the 400 Study Club for many years. Its reputation preceded me. And of course, Barbara, Jean, and I, we were campaigning for office at not too long ago. Matter of fact, when I was running for clerk, I think. And Barbara Jean said, "I want you to join this group of women with me." And Barbara Jean is very persuasive. You know that, right?
Right.
And so
Say no.
I couldn't say no. And I was very happy because, first of all, my first mother-in-law was a member of the 400 Study Club.
Okay.
And she was a very active member, and I loved her a lot. So I was happy to be in one of the clubs that she had been a member when it first began years ago. I like it because I can interact with other women, and there are women in that club, in our club, that I had never met before. You know, in the community, you think you know everybody and what have you. We have people who have written a couple of books. One lady is right now finishing another book that she has written. And of course, you have people who are in the business arena. And so you interact with so many people that have different ideas and different lifestyles than yours. And so it's an education.
Yeah. Talk about the club now versus before. I mean, for much of its history, it's been about legal barriers or certainly cultural barriers to women and black women doing the things that they want to do. Little different picture now, but you sort of still have to keep that spirit alive. Do you see it among the younger members that?
Right, and we don't have a lot of younger members, as I indicated. Our youngest member is Jamie Clayton Cameron, and she was elected as the first female international president of funeral homes and morticians.
Okay.
So she's in a field that traditionally has not been that of women.
For women especially. Right?
For women especially, but her mother is Yolanda Cameron, Yolanda Jeter Cameron, and so they are with Jeter Memorial Funeral Home.
Okay.
And so we have outstanding women like that who are first. Jamie is the first in that field. We have so many. Javetta Bell, who was the first to go to Marshall College in West Virginia.
Okay.
And she was certainly active in the NAACP as the top ticket seller, worked at Wayne County Community College as one of as the assistant administrator. We have a family of sisters. Our vice president is Elaine McKinney, and she and two of her sisters, her only two sisters, Janet Milburn Birch and Eleanor Hill, are also members of the club.
Okay.
They're all members of the club. Janet was director of Human Services for Calhoun County and Kalamazoo County. Eleanor served with the judges. She was a court officer for Judge Donna Coleman and for Judge Van Etworth. And so these sisters have come together. It's a club of like sisterhood.
Sisterhood, yeah.
Sisterhood.
Is that what you feel?
I feel that way, yes. Also Marjorie Harris.
And Phyllis Ponders.
And Phyllis
Dr. Marjorie Harris.
Ponders. They were, of course, Lewis College of Business.
Right.
Their mother,
Yes.
Violet T. Lewis, she was the founder of Lewis College of Business. And it's so amazing because I knew their mother, and I was friends of their mother far before I was friends of Marjorie Harris and Phyllis Ponders.
Yeah.
And so we have, and Marjorie now at this time is in her 90s, and she's a member of the club, and she is quite a person who brings a lot to the club with the history that she has with being the president of the Lewis College of Business.
Yeah. We've got about a minute left. Talk about the future of this club. As you said, a lot of the members are older.
A lot of them are. There are some younger people, but I'm the third president. I've been the president for 15 years now. And so the president, you know, it's been an organization where we've had a lot of people who, you know, you stick and stay. Don't go away, you die out of the club, really. We've had people, the future is very bright because one of the things that a lot of the members, like Vera Buford, she was the first person, first female who ever worked, first African-American who worked for New York Life, and Lou Ella Moore, and Sadie Beaumar, and all of these people, they did first in their categories. The future is bright because the young people who've come in, we work as a service organization, really.
Yeah.
We do things in the community to make a difference in the lives of people. One of the things, and we all have different backgrounds. We all have things that we do. I've worked, as you know, in state, city, and county government. Next stop, the White House. No, federal government. And anyway, but we groom people. We take young people under our wings. And people, good role models and mentors like Teola Hunter, the Honorable Teola Hunter, and Honorable Barbara Rose Collins, and so many others. We try to lead the young people into places that they need to go and not to forget their history.
We're going to have
not to forget.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but
that's all right.
We're out of segment time. Of course, we could be talking about this
forever
for another hour. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.